I want you to be aware of where we're at. I've spent some time today, working on our schedule for the remainder of the trimester. So I want to talk about that for a little bit. We are going to do a lab for about half of the class period today. We're just going to collect data. We are not going to do the analysis today, and I'll explain why in just a minute. And then we are also going to do some introductory notes. So we're going to kind of section out our class today because we've got some stuff to do. So let me start by talking about the schedule. I did go ahead and post it up on, hold on just a second, on Canvas, but there we go. Now you can see it. So just so that you're aware of where we're at and what we're doing. So today, please stop talking. Thank you so very much. We're going to, like I said, we're going to do the data collection and projectile motion. Tomorrow we are going to do the lab assessment. I'm going to ask you to do the analysis. So I'll explain this at the end of our lab today, but you're going to do the analysis tomorrow in class. It will be it's like an applied problem that you will do in class, individually, by yourself, based on thinking about what you know about one-dimensional motion, okay? So I want to make that really clear that that's going to happen. We're also going to do some more introduction to projectile motion tomorrow, okay? Next week is going to be very projectile motion heavy. So so this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's going to be boom, 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 boom. We are going to projectile motion it up, and we will take a very short quiz, just a couple of short questions about projectile motion on Wednesday. The reason for all of that is that finals are coming up. I don't know if you've seen this schedule yet in all of your classes, but if you have not, here it is. This is what Mr. Kibbe sent out to us. This is what everybody is supposed to adhere to, okay? So all of the periods are all exactly the same length. We still have Liberty time and all of that, but I am only allowed to assess you on Thursday and on Tuesday of final schedule, okay? I know that many of you have government, and I do see that the social studies is on the same day, and I don't know who planned that, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh man, because it just kind of freaks me out a little bit, but we'll figure it out. We'll make it okay. So Thursday is when we're going to do our projectile motion quiz in class, okay? And then we're going to spend Friday and Monday reviewing, because I am going to give you a final on Tuesday, November 13th. I will tell you that I'm a little bit stressed out about the fact that we only have one period to do it in, okay? And it's a short period as well. So I'm going to figure out a way to make it work, okay? It may involve having some of it be take home. I haven't really gotten that figured out in my head yet, because I was just kind of came to this realization today. But know that there will be an in-class portion, and know that it will be modeling what an AP exam slice will look like, right? 40 minutes instead of 3 hours, so it's hard to, quite figure that out, but we'll figure out what that's going to look like. But know that Thursday the 8th and Tuesday the 13th in class will be exam days for us, okay? I know, in one of my other classes, I said this, and I had somebody who is involved in the play, and they're going, holy bananas, that's the day before we're doing our show, right? So that's kind of intense. If there's something in your life that makes these dates really not work, please talk to me. I can't adjust this for everybody. I can't do it wholesale because there are too many of you and too many other moving pieces. But if there's a situation that you need help with, please talk to me. I would rather that you do well, as you guys have figured out, than come in and do poorly. I'm going to ask, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as I finish this, that you put all the candy away, because we're going to be doing a lab, and we do not need candy at lab, okay? So I know that it was the day after Halloween, so I know you're on this candy high. I get it, but put it away in my room for now, okay? Please and thank you. Questions about this schedule before I move off of this page? Okay. I also want you to know, because I had that up there before, but this has the homework that you will have due. So this homework will be due on the day of that quiz, that projectile motion quiz, but it's all up here and it's set right there just like that. Okay. Any other questions about what we're doing for the remainder of this trimester? I want to remind you, because I know people were asking about it, I just want to make sure it's very clear that there is no lab full write-up that will be due by the end of this trimester. We'll wait and do that before winter break, because I feel like everybody will be in a better mental state at that point. I think that's all that I needed to tell you about that. Is that true? Anything that anybody else can think of? Okay. All right. So right now I'm going to get you started on a lab. This is a lab that you can kind of fit in lots of different places, but I'm going to fit it in right here. I do not have a handout for you because this is literally all it is, and it seems silly to give you a quarter of a piece of paper that you were going to read once. So we'll just read it together, and I'll leave this up on the board for a few minutes. The research question is, how is an object's fall time related to the height from which it is dropped? Okay, so how does the time vary as the height changes? Okay. I heard a question. Maybe did I hear a question or was I dreaming?
I don't have
a question.
No, I was just talking.
You're just thinking it through. So you're going to work with your lab group to design and carry out an experiment to answer the research question. Okay. Yep. This is all that. Yep. So you're going to discuss the procedure before you begin taking data, design and utilize a data table, and complete multiple trials. And then you're going to send that to me via a Google Sheet, just your data. Boom, boom, boom. That's all I need from you. One thing I want you to think about, though, because you did a lab last week when I was not here, where you measured what with a meter stick?
Reaction time.
Reaction time. And probably you gathered that your reaction time was pretty lousy. And by that, I don't mean like that you let it all fall like this, like maybe the sub did, right? But that everybody has some time in which with which it takes for to measure. So now I want you to think about it in terms of dropping a tennis ball, okay? And you could do the math, but I'm trying to move quickly, so I'm not going to make you do the math. But you could do the math to tell me how long it's going to take for the ball to fall from here to there. Is it very long? It is not very long, okay? And then if you imagine that there's reaction time on the beginning with the person with the stopwatch and on the end with the person with the stopwatch, does it make sense that your reaction time is going to play into that a lot? Yeah. Okay, so if you just drop it from a meter or 2 meters up, that's not going to be very productive, right? You're going to have so much error on both sides that your data really means nothing. Okay, the reason I'm telling you that is because we're going to go out in the hallway. We're going to go out into the academic commons, and there's a really nice high up area where you can drop the ball. Okay, now this is the reason that I want to tell you this is because I need you to think about this carefully. You're going to need to do some multiple heights, and I'm going to let you and your team decide how many, but I would say a lot more than a little, right? Because we're going to have to do some analysis with this data, right? So you're going to do multiple heights. I would say that the multiple heights need to be at least, 50 centimeters difference, because if you do one here and then one here and then one here and then one here, your data isn't going to tell you very much. It's very interesting, okay? And probably you're going to need to do a few trials, would you agree? From each of the heights, okay? So make a plan. I would strongly recommend that you not pick your heights before you go out there, but instead figure out how tall something is. Get that tall person to hold it up here, right? And then measure like that, okay? Yes, you can go down the stairs as well, but I would say that you want to make sure that everything's at least 3.5 or 4 meters up. 3 meters up. Question?
No.
Oh, is that? Okay. Yeah.
How do you want us to measure how high up it is? Do we have something that caters?
We have measure tapes.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I was trying to think I was trying to process your question. Yes. Other questions? Okay, so we're gonna number off. Let's do. I know it's me, right? No, you may not. I mean, unless it happens that way. We're gonna count off by 7. 7 sounds good. And we're gonna start back with Gunnar. Go ahead, Gunnar. Kian's gonna be. Rasan's gonna be.
I think.
Okay, hold on. I'm not going back to you. Ellie, you're gonna be.
Oh my god. You're kidding.
That's okay.
You're hard.
This is rigged.
4,
5,
6, 7.
Okay, and then we're gonna come back to.
This is rigged. I will not.
Life is not rigged. I'm just trying to mix it up so it's not the same every time. Go.
1,
2.
Have you got ready? 2.
2 is stacked. What is
3.
this?
Does everybody have a number?
What is this?
Okay.
Two is stacked.
It's not stacked. It's just how it goes.
What do you mean two is stacked? You got Kate Middleton, I think. You got Ian.